Claudia, for more on this, let's bring in retired U.S. Marine Mark Geist, a member of the Benghazi Annex security team and founder of the Shadow Warriors Project. Mark, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So at least 103 attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria since October 17th. What more should President Biden do to signal to the Iranian regime they must stop?
I think the first thing from a non-military response would be to hit them economically with sanctions, put back in the sanctions that they had backed down from when Biden took office. We need to cut off their supplies of oil, their ability to sell oil. We need to hinder all of that and hit them economically at home as well, because we're going to continue seeing this. This has to be a war on all fronts, and maybe that's the wrong word as war, but we are in a proxy sense of a war with Iran, as well as Hezbollah, Hamas, and all the Shia militias that are backed by Iran in Iraq itself. And we're going to continue seeing these acts or these attacks.
An IDF airstrike took out what's believed to be a top Revolutionary Guard commander. The Iranian regime is warning that Israel will, quote, pay the price. What is your assessment?
I think they've got to say that. I mean, they got to say that to be right to the people and to their people, and to, you know, they've had this this bully mentality ever since Biden's been in office, and the way that they've been treated, opening back up money that they can have, putting millions and millions, if not billions of dollars back into their economy. We need to shut that down. Israel is doing what they need to do, and I think it's fully justified.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu writing in the Wall Street Journal about Israel's prerequisites for peace, saying, quote, Palestinian civil society needs to be transformed so that its people support fighting terrorism rather than funding it. That will likely require courageous and moral leadership. Palestinian Authority leader Mahmoud Abbas can't even bring himself to condemn the October 7 atrocities. Such a cultural transformation will be possible in Gaza only among Palestinians who don't seek the destruction of Israel. Is your view what he wrote there basically signaling this is going to be a very long and painful process?
Yeah, and it has to be. I mean, what we'd see if they pulled back now is Hamas just would rebuild, restructure, take all of the money that's going to be given to them because of, you know, through all of the aid packages, because they are pilfering off of that as well. And they would just rebuild, work with Iran, and continue to attack Israel. They have to have the authority and the ability and the support to defend their country and defend it on all aspects.
Israel's Minister of Strategic Affairs is expected here in Washington today for meetings at the White House and the State Department to talk about Israel's plans for eventually scaling down the war. That's according to reports. How significant is his presence in Washington in these meetings today?
You know, it's very significant. It not only gives word or information to us as the people of America of what Israel is doing, but it also plays back to their own people, and they have to stand strong. Biden administration needs to stand behind Israel, as we always have historically as a country, and we need to continue that. I know that, you know, it opens us to some attacks, but we're already getting those attacks, whether or not we have that strong support of Israel or not.
Mark Geist, thank you for your service to the country. Thank you for your analysis today, sir.
Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to everyone. God bless.
Merry Christmas.